Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers and subscribers at the channel, we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because it saves lives. Yes, we at the Jamaica Young Police channel, it's all about saving life, and that's our main priority here. Yes. We are not beholden to any political parties in Jamaica or anywhere, but we support the party or government who is willing to make Jamaican people's lives better, especially when it comes on to security. We would like to see the culture of the people change, by instilling these youths ethics, moral, decency, truthfulness, and to get rid of all the muck and this culture erosion that has been taken over and infiltrate our people's mind in Jamaica. You understand? So, that's what we're all about here, reading, and these youths need to read more. So, we are all about saving lives here at the channel, at the Jamaica Young Police channel. But some lives are not worth saving. They have lived a parasitic life and were not contributing citizens to the society. Hence, we'd like to find a way to get rid of them by any means necessary. The Jamaica Young Police channel is not for criminal supporters, enablers, financiers, beneficiaries, sympathizers, excuse specialists, and head hunchers in criminal underworld. At the channel, we, at the Jamaica Young Police channel, we aid criminals with a passion. Yes, especially the criminal police officers who rob people. They rob the citizen, them coke, them property, anything where you can think of, them rob, they extort, transport illegal firearms and ammunition, and wanted men who are wanted for various crimes, including murder, in their personal and police vehicles. So when these police officers travel with these criminals in a police vehicle and pretend as if they are witnesses or complainant because they're transporting them from point A to point B to let them evade and elude the police. We burn fire upon those police officers are criminals, and we have a lot of criminal police in the police force at this moment. Yes. And the force, we want the police force to change and the mindset of the people to change by reading. So before we begin today's video, we want our audience and detractors to know that anything that we have said here is incorrect. You can reach out to us and we will give you the chance to correct the same by contacting us at 954-556-0275. To us, the first and foremost thing about us on this channel is our character, credibility, and reputation. So, we have to preserve. That is what we are about here. And look, this channel is not for we're not going to say, we're not going to disrespect people, but this channel is not for people who have the 5-second attention span, where people are talking, boy, the intro is too long. Look, there's a reason why the intro is this long. It is not for people who have goal, fishes, mindset. After 5 seconds, they want to do something else. No. We want to keep people focused because we want to change the trajectory of the people's mind. And by keep repeating things to let them know that decency, ethics, morals, truthfulness, these are things that are important to make the people's life better. Remember, not to be a criminal, you have to be dishonest. So we don't want the people them to grow. We don't want the youths them to grow in a society where lying is normalized and criminality is idolized. We don't want that. We want that to be shunned. You're a liar, people don't want nothing to do with it. You shame them. You shame the liars them publicly. And criminals, you don't want to be in their midst. So that is what we're all about here, to change minds. We're not here to entertain people. We're here to educate, inform, and inspire. So if you want entertainment and you want somebody to cuddle you, massage your ego, you know where to go if you want to hear the lies. And the criminal supporter channel. You understand? Mr. Ugly Some, just go over there, that man there, you saw him look like, cow, you understand? So just remember and say anything that we have said here and you don't, and you can correct it. You come on, we give you the chance to correct it. If the truth shall kill those who hate the truth, let it kill them. Criminals are people with paranoid psychosis who often believe that the government is persecuting them and that the police are trying to kill them, when they are the ones who are killing others and believe that their lives is more important than their victims. So, yeah, moving on. Yeah, so this is part 5, the rise and fall of the shower posse leader, Christopher Doodles Cook. And when he took on the state of Jamaica, literally, when he was able to mobilize his militia of over, maybe they say over 300 men with rifles in Jamaica. So that these guys with these guns, they can take on Jamaica anytime. Because remember that if they, as I've mentioned in so many videos before, that the day is coming, where these guys is going to use these rifles. So all these politicians who think that that the police force is the enemy of the people, and they have been both political party, since the extradition of Christopher Doodles Cook. Before then, it was only one party. When you had a man named Edward Seaka who was in charge of the JLP party, it was an anti-police party back then. But after Bruce Golding took over the party and brought his criminals, sympathizers and enablers from the NDM, yes, that's when they brought the CM Michael Manley philosophy and brought it to the GLP. And they align now with the PMP, and they have become the party to hate the police. So the police have no friends within the political class. Both political parties have labeled the police as the enemies. They have went as far as to take away even the rights of the Jamaican police. They have no rights under the under the Jamaican Constitution, as other police officers enjoy around the world. Jamaica is the only place where a police officer can literally criminalize himself for not giving a statement, and you can end up in jail for that, and then end up with a criminal conviction, whilst a criminal have the right to remain silent. So that goes to show you, that Jamaica is a criminal's paradise. So this is part 5, and we'll continue the journey. You watch, you listen, and you decide, because we're just giving you facts. And then we'll continue, because we're going to give you context about the people who are involved in helping this man to escape from Kingston. And on his return, he was held by the police in the presence of the preacher, Al Miller. Execution of suspected criminals, say Jerome Harris, who retired as head of the DEA Caribbean Division in 2008. Hey, look here, Mr. Harris, you don't live in Jamaica, you don't understand how our criminal them operating. So what you have to talk about execution? It's preemptive strike. Our criminal them in Jamaica are some hard and heartless criminals. You say when them kill them, rape all people and then kill them, you think them are afraid to shoot off by police? I mean execution. What kind of madness is that? If Jamaican police have the same protection to operate as the American police, Jamaica could easily have at least 10,000 fatal shootings every year. Easy, because Jamaican are some of the most violent black people on earth. Number one, Jamaican people do not like law and order. Jamaican people don't follow structure. Jamaican people just do as them please. Them not believe in our rules or anything. If you notice, anytime a police is doing his work in Jamaica, they are flocked by a crowd of hostile, ignorant and arrogant people who violently attack the police. And you talk about extrajudicial killing. Jamaica police don't commit extrajudicial killing. All of those things are myth. Jamaicans are violent people. So if a policeman, if you have to defend yourself, use preemptive strike, is that extrajudicial killing? You prevent the person from carrying out the action, from killing you. This is what kind of madness this is, man. Come on, man. We expect better than that from you, because when these same people, arrive, look at the Jamaican who shoot the US Marshal them in Massachusetts, and when they meet up with him again in New York, him shot another police. I kill him if I kill him. a Jamaican that, you know, and some violent people, them people don't care about other people's life, you know, and you must afraid of them. So the only way you can erase the fear is kill them. That's all you have to do. You have to defend yourself. That's how it is. So we'll continue the journey, and that's a bad statement from, you know, from Mr. Jerome Harris, man. Come on, man, do better than that. You know, because if Jamaican policemen have the resources and the laws that the American police operate, easily we have 10,000 fatal shootings every year. Easily. You understand? See, a man lit down on a policeman will stop a vehicle in America, and the police are stopping my mass speed, he must move out of awareness, empty him clock, or him bury it, or any gun in him, and kill everything in the vehicle, because the vehicle is a weapon. In a Jamaica now, the police, him rather take the lick down than to shoot the vehicle, and must have him shoot up the vehicle. He is the one who's going to go to prison. That's how it is there. Jamaica is a criminal's paradise. And the entire system is it's a muck with criminals from the head right down to the tail. So we'll continue the journey. So in February 2010, 3 months before the Tivoli incursion, a leaked cable signed by the chief of the US Embassy cited a UN report pointing out the propensity of extrajudicial killing by the JCF. It's weird when people get this madness from about extrajudicial killing. Extrajudicial killing what? Jamaica is a war zone. Hey, look, man, Jamaica is a war zone. And you see it all the time when we see bulletin and cable report where various countries say them citizens mustn't visit Jamaica. And look, you know, and the only way to keep the people them safe, you have to prevent these criminals from killing others. How is that extrajudicial killing? Jamaicans are some of the most violent. Hey, look what the Jamaicans did. They came, man charged murder and jump bail, and come to America and look asylum. You understand? Jareem Shelton, what them call jail. You understand? That a boy from Squash 6 Bass Camp. He's on bail, jump bail from Jamaica, come to America, say man look asylum, and then him kill 2 people on camera. Them have it on camera. So what you people talking about extrajudicial killing? United Nations is a corrupt organization, man. We're not even listening to them. Because United Nations don't even know the difference between a man and a woman, and a boy and a girl. So I'm not going and them thing there. Some educated fools up there. A security advisor in Jamaica who works closely with the police said it might be that Jamaican police commit murder because they don't trust the courts or the prison. And I wish that's a lie. No security advisor in a Jamaica can say that. That's a madness. That's a lie. You understand? So you have to just look out, you know. Many bad guys do not go to jail, or they can operate their criminal empires from inside the jail, or they escape with ease. Police officers in particular are at risk. Some of them are targeted and killed, so they might occasionally feel that killing someone on the spot makes more sense. People like Mickey Freeman and Andre Smith were in particular danger from the Jamaican police because they had come in from outside Tivoli Gardens. Dulles had called in bad boys from across Jamaica to come and defend him. The security advisor continued. Police and soldiers knew that they were likely to encounter some of the most vicious killers in the country, and that any non-local man present in Tivoli Gardens and that day had probably not come as a tourist, but as a killer. Yes. So, you know, we put the question of Freeman's character to more than 20 sources in Kingston, including not only official media contacts at the US Embassy, the JCF and the JDF, but a high-ranking JCF officer and a former shower posse lieutenant. I had asked each of these interlocutors for any evidence that might have shown that Freeman was anything other than a non-combatant intentionally shot and killed by the security force. No one was able to provide such proof. In the absence, the case against Freeman in innocence consists of a small circumstantial connection to coke. These must also be weighed against the strong evidence supporting his excellent character. Freeman's security check allowed him to work for the contractor building the US Embassy. interview with Freeman supervisor in Jamaica and the US. Multiple accounts from Freeman's neighbors and family. But Freeman's innocence or guilt on May 24, 2020 wasn't decided by a court, a journalist, or most likely anyone who knew him. Members of the security forces in Tivoli Gardens agree with it. None of them have spoken about the day, and no court has compelled them to do it. It is therefore impossible to know what standard they apply to who would live and who would die. Residents were forced to stay near their homes for 2 weeks after the operation. Many resident sofas had been cut open, ceiling ripped down, and tile floor smashed during police searches for weapons. Tivoli was on a 6 o'clock curfew for the next month, enforced by arrest. They entered or left the neighborhood after the curfew required a police permit. A year later, in May 2011, Tivoli Gardens still looked like an occupied territory. Coke's office had become an army post and the Jamaican flag flew overhead. Occasionally, patrol of soldiers emerged from the camouflage mess, concealing the entrance. The patrol passed by pickup football games, tennis ball, cricket matches, and a group of women hanging out lingerie. They crossed streets on the diagonal, rifles cradled across their chests. Next to the army post was a new police station. The officers seemed friendlier, eating box lunches in plain view and bantering with residents. Police interact with the people in the Tivoli Gardens. The officers seemed friendlier. On one wall was a sign left behind by an old order. No idling, no smoking, no forward. So doodles never in them thing there. You can't smoke, him no want no eyeglass around him and him no want no bad word. You understand? And him a done, you know. You see how him have film own standard where people must follow, you know, but him not understand that him no follow the standard where the government set. When Marjorie Hines talked about May 24th, she speak with a stutter. Without Freeman's support, she has a hard time feeding her children. She and her daughter beg. Her whole neighbor, Marilyn Campbell, begs on her behalf. "You have to be strong, Marjorie," her friend Jane McFarlane said, as the two sat in McFarlane's living room, decorated with stuffed animals and artificial flowers. McFarlane lost a son and a cousin in the attack. Bullets, holes, and splattered blood still mar one of her upstairs bedroom. She now lives with a friend in a town west of Kingston and had returned to visit Tivoli on the first anniversary of the killings. "This house is not a home to me anymore," she said. During Memorial Week, a public commemoration of the attack's first anniversary, the Faith and Hope Deliverance Church pastor unfolded 2 sheets of paper and read a letter from Coke. "Dear residents of Tivoli Garden," the Don had written, "I hope you are all fine, and this letter reaches everyone in the best health. As for me, I am doing all right, and my health condition are fine." Coke thanked Tivoli for sending him postcard and said he was sorry for the pain of the past year. For the future, he'll look to God. "My deepest sympathy and condolences goes out to the family who lost their loved ones and those that were injured. When the community cries, I cry too." One sentence could be construed as a warning. Don't let anyone mislead you to do anything that is not right in the sight of God. A memorial for Mickey Freeman occurred later that afternoon, the following day, in the yard where Nikita remembered last seeing him. Mickey's half-brother, Bubba, cooked chicken and rice and grill made from rusty hubcaps. A line quickly formed and Bubba brought out Heineken, rum and Pepsi. Darkness fell. One by one, the women of Tivoli knelt on the sidewalk and lit white candles. Someone rigged up a sound system and played "Blah blah blah blah." 3 young boys shouted, spraying the street with imaginary machine guns. Hines sat looking out at the party from the veranda of her old apartment with Mickey Jr. At her feet, rolling an unlit candle between her hands. She stayed inside through most of the Memorial Week. When she went outside, she did not linger near Building 2. A suitcase on top of the bedroom dresser holds the remains of her old life. When she wants to explain who she once was, she will carry it to the kitchen table, spill out a bundle of loose paper and begin picking out vital documents, identification cards, letters of reference, phone numbers of supervisor who will attest that Mickey Freeman was a good man. In a photograph taken at a job site, Mickey waved at the camera in a hard hat and earplugs with half-closed eyes and a hint of a smile. He appears confident. He was a small frame but a workman's thick forearms. There are photographs too that show how much Hines have changed. She is heavier now with a black scar running along one cheekbone. I was pretty, she said. She pointed to the wound on her feet and leg. Look, they spoil me up. Jim Brown's body lies beside those of his family and his retainers beneath a bed of artificial flowers and a bare light bulb. The grave is in the northeast corner of Mapen Cemetery, an area known in Tivoli Gardens as Hero Circle. Wow! The words death is the surest thing in life are painted black on a nearby wall. One day a memorial occurred at Hero Circle for Errol Spence. The young barber called Kulu. His tomb rises 4 feet from the uneven ground and in a finished white tile with his name, date cut into the headstone. A case of beer, a bottle of rum, and a sprig of marijuana as placed on top of these. These are cokes. One of the mourners, a middle-aged woman, said to me, "They don't want you here." But a large man with bow leg and a diamond earring was eager to have someone record his thoughts. He introduced himself as Big Pimp and said he was close to one of Coke's nephew. "My 2 balls and my word and my family, that's all I have." He began paraphrasing Al Pacino in Scarface. "Then they come and then they take that away." He took a swallow from a Heineken. "If me no cry on the outside, I cry on the inside." We lost a lot of friends. We down here, we live like brothers and sisters. Police and soldiers, we have all hate for them. He compared Jamaica to Libya and Afghanistan. He talked about human rights, bare innocent. He cried of the mention of Kulu, cold-blooded murder. The soldier, they swabbed him. They find nothing and they killed him. Early in the morning on another day, 9-year-old Mickey Jr. took me to see his father's grave, which lies south of Hero Circle. He said Nikita have got used to looking for themselves when Hines can. She sells vegetables in the market but often goes to the country to rest. It was just after dawn and the sky was grey. Mickey Jr. slipped on his sandals and led me to Mapen, Clarendon. He tread the narrow path running between the graves. The way was paved in places with old stones, markers sinking into the dirt like cobblestones. This one, Mickey Jr. said, sitting down on a tomb of pink tile. There was no headstone. In its place was a sun-bleached photograph of 2 stuffed bears with the words, "I love you so much. Me a bed, then go to school," Mickey Jr. said. He looked weary in a way and most 9-year-old boys never do. Do the stories connect to the roots of donmanship in Jamaica? Dons are informal leaders who take on decisive government role within one or more low-income urban communities, tend to be involved in criminal activities, frequently have strong ties to one of Jamaica's 2 main political parties. Duda's father, Lester Jim Brown Coke, was one of the island's first significant dons. He uses his clientele list connection to the Jamaica Labour Party, and the proceeds from his involvement in the transnational drug trade as the leader of the so-called Shower Posse to rule and provide for the people of West Kingston neighborhood of Tivoli Gardens. Jim Brown died mysteriously in prison at the General Penitentiary in 1992 while awaiting extradition to the United States on drugs charge and weapon trafficking charges. This occurred shortly after murder of his oldest son, Mark Jati Cook, who had been set to follow in his footsteps, and instead Dudus took over the M of his father's operation. Jati's killing was an elaborate plan by a man by the name of Blood. Dudus' connection to the drug trade continued to generate significant income, but he also diversifies in economic activities, establishing legal business in construction, security, and entertainment industries. While the success of his company meant he was less reliant on government patronage, he maintained close ties with the JLP. He channeled funds from his business into Tivoli Gardens and maintained an informal system of policing and conflict resolution. The National Security Force turned a blind eye to these activities, not only because of Dudus' political connection, but also because his leadership was associated with a measure of peace in an area generally affected by high rates of crime and violence. Known as president, he was considered a don of Tivoli Gardens. He could also influence the urban community elsewhere on the island and even the US or UK. Rupert Lewis Party Politics in Jamaica and the Extradition of Christopher Dudus Cook. However, in August 2009, the United States Embassy submitted a request to the Jamaican government for the Dudus extradition. The Jamaican government initially contested this request, which the JLP led at the time. 9 months later, on May 19, 2010, after significant diplomatic pressure from the US and increasing censure from civil society and the Jamaican opposition party, People's National Party, or PNP, which is the PNP LGBTQ+, the then Prime Minister Bruce Golding signed the extradition request allowing the security force to arrest Cook to hand him over to the United States. In response to Tivoli Gardens residents staged a public protest in downtown Kingston Business District while gunmen aligned to Dudus execute preemptive attack on security forces in different parts of the city. So when people talk about extrajudicial killing, so it's when them do them attack the security force and even burn down police station, but we're gonna let you see even all that, let you see what they did when they burned down the police station, you understand? And the station in Anatown were burned down by men in Anatown. PNP, LGBTQ+ community, people burned down Anatown police station. I know they want it back. You understand? So I don't believe the government will build it back and then burn it down. They don't want a police station. You understand? So on May 23rd, security force entered the community of Tivoli Gardens by force by the end of a 3-day security operation known as Tivoli incursion. Over 97 people were killed. Dudus himself was neither armed nor captured in the onslaught and continued to evade arrest. For weeks, which is a month, on June 22nd, 2010, police acting based on intelligence apprehended Dudus in a car driven by Reverend Almeida, a popular evangelical pastor allegedly on his way to surrender to the US Embassy, having waived his rights to an extradition trial. Dudus was quickly extradited to the United States, where he received 23-year sentence. He's currently serving in a low-security federal correctional institution in New Jersey. And look, you know what he did? Dudus took even the American government to court about 10 times, want to get his sentence lower. After he already said what he would not appeal. So he said there's no honest criminal. He signed all that on the dotted line and that, alright, I'm going to take this plea deal instead of the life imprisonment, and I'm not going to appeal. Everything that he had signed, he had broken it. So show me an honest criminal. Arrest my case. Yeah, so we're coming down to the end of part 5 of the Christopher Dudu's quote, rise and fall of the shower posse leader. And you have heard, we have stated earlier in this video that there's no honest criminal, and we have been saying it all along. Remember that this man he had signed a plea deal because he did not want to take the risk of going to trial in America for his crimes that the American government has accused him of committing, although he was in Jamaica. Because in America, I can tell you this, just when you're black and they arrest and charge you, especially, it doesn't matter what kind of crime, 9 out of 10 times all of the jurors is going to be white, so you don't know right there and there. Even if you're innocent, you're guilty. It's as simple as that. So Dudu's did the smart thing because he knows that he's a criminal, so he just take the plea deal. But what he did after that, everything that he had signed to and agreed, say he's not going to appeal anything, the man has broken every one of them, every agreement. So to show you that there's no honest criminals, you understand? Because he wants to return to Jamaica. But hey, what is going to happen when he returns to Jamaica? So coming up, we're going to give you some some names of some high-ranking police officers. Yes, some of them lost their visas. Some didn't have any visas before, who are connected to Christopher Dudu's quote and help him to elude the security force, help him, give him comfort. Yeah, so as we have stated before, we're going to give you the information of the people who were providing food and shelter for Christopher Dudu's quote when he was on the run from the security forces in Jamaica. We are going to let you the people that were helping him with his new identity by wearing wig and all those things, and the people who were providing legal assistance to help him, you understand, and they were providing emotional support. Even at one time, even at one point during the debacle, the political class in Jamaica rally around this man, and they were planning to sending him to Venezuela. But you're going to hear the names of the politicians who have lost their visas and big rank police officer. Even a police officer at one time had the greatest amount of respect for him, but guess what? People just proved themselves. He was too cocky and up in his ass, but yet still he was a secret criminal. You understand? I won't pretend, but any police you see aligned with Harry Bungles, you don't have to ask. Criminal, big time. Harry Bungles, Derek Cowboy Knight, and Donovan Ox O'Connor, and there are a lot more. Even our assistant commissioner of police who was at Ricky Bailey's funeral, big time court dealer. If you haven't subscribed to the channel as yet, consider subscribing, like the video, share the video, and most importantly, comment below. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel out.